Hey there, this is Julie, the Garter Girl. I wanted to make a quick video for you today about 5 free ways to put your wedding guests first. I know it's not all wedding garters around here all the time. I do have tons of wedding planning advice for you in general, just based on my 10 plus years in this industry. I see so many things happening and I want to be able to share all that advice with you. And today we're talking about how to put your wedding guests first. I know it seems counterintuitive, but you know, you're the bride or you're the groom and it should be all about you. Yes, absolutely. However, your wedding guests are so important. You're inviting your friends and your family to come and witness this amazing experience in your life, and it's so important that you show them the love as they're showing you the love. So here are 5 free ways to put your wedding guests first, and it's these, like I said, these things are free, they're simple, and really they're so small and they make the biggest difference for your guests. So number 1 happens in the pre-wedding prep. So you want to try to make sure to talk about things other than the wedding to your wedding guests, right? Like, they want to know what's going on with you, not necessarily what's going on with the wedding planning, right? So yes, you can talk about it a little bit, but you don't want to make that like all you talk about. I know I have friends that are planning their wedding. They're like, okay, we're going to talk about the wedding for the first 10 minutes and then after that we're done. Because really it's all about your relationship and being with that person, and you don't want it to be all about the wedding. The second thing you can do to put your wedding guests first revolves around the guest count, okay? And this one is harder to do in theory than it is in reality, okay? Because the guest count can be tough, and because you want to invite everybody, but it can get really expensive. But more than just the expense of it is the comfort of it, right? Like, so a lot of times a venue will say, oh, no problem, we can seat 350 guests, or oh, this place easily seats 350 people. But then your guests are like jammed in there and they can't get around, and the dance floor is like itty bitty and there's no way to move, and the waiters can't get around, and everyone's just kind of crammed in there. Okay, so you want to really make sure that your guest count fits the space, because you don't want everyone like jammed in there and uncomfortable all night because they can't move around. So be careful of your guest count. The third way that you can put your wedding guests first for free is giving them clear directions. And that means if you need to get to your wedding, they need directions. They need directions maybe if your ceremony and reception are in different spots. Again, it's not that big of a deal. It doesn't sound like a big deal, but it can be. Like, if you're from out of town and you don't know how to get from one place to the other, should I take Uber? Should I drive? Is there parking? I don't know. Is this road one way or the other way? Can I park on the street? Etc. So giving clear directions to your guests is something so small, but it's going to make such a big difference, and it's going to make the day so seamless and so smooth for them that all they're going to be doing is thinking about like how awesome you are and how amazing it is to see you and to see everybody else, and they're not going to be sitting there thinking like, ugh, I don't know where I'm going, I don't know where I'm parking. So clear directions. The fourth thing to do is give them a timeline. Again, like, they want to show up for you. They want to be on time for you. They want to be there and available and help you celebrate. So they need to know when to be where. Of course, you're going to have some of your guests, and sometimes I'm that person, you know, that are running late or they're behind or they're, you know, always last minute. But the majority of your guests, they want to be where you want them to be, and they want to be there on time, if not early. So you have to tell them, if you want them, you know, seated by a certain time, if you want them to exit a location by a certain time, like, give your guests a timeline for the day of where they need to be and when, and they're gonna be so thankful because they wanna show up for you. They just need to know where and how to show up. So sharing a timeline with them, maybe you want to stick it in the welcome bags, you want to put it on your website, maybe you can even email or text your friends. You can put it in the invitation, but sometimes that's a little early. You might not have your timeline all together by then, but either way, just make sure your guests have a timeline so that they can show up for you. The fifth way to show your wedding guests some love and put them first for free is to say thank you. I know, it's not that hard, but it's something that sometimes gets forgotten, right? Like, it's all about you, and you've got a million things going on, and I did it, you know, the dress and the invitations and the cake and who's going where, and you know, it's really important. Like, your guests took time out of their life. Okay, maybe they traveled, maybe they didn't, but you know, they took time out that they could be doing other things to be with you and to help celebrate you. And you know, maybe hopefully they got you a wedding present. Again, that's money they've spent on you. If they spent money to go to your wedding, whether it's a destination wedding or not, right? Like, they're there for you, and it's important that you then in turn say thank you to them. And you can do little things. I've seen in the ceremony program, you can say, thank you so much to everyone to coming here. If you want to highlight a few people, that's fine. Or if you just want to keep it general. I've seen sometimes where people put individual notes at people's place cards. If it's a smaller wedding, that can get a lot when you're talking hundreds of people. Sometimes the couple will stand up and grab the mic and say thank you. There's all kinds of little things that you can do to find ways to say thank you to your wedding guests. What we did at our wedding many years ago, but we put notes in everybody's welcome bag at the hotel, handwritten notes. Just like a quick little, hey, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. And that went such a long way, and our guests really knew how much we appreciated having them there. So lots of creative ways to say thank you, so we're not going to get into all those here. That's another video for another day, but I did want to just make sure that that fifth item was to say thank you. No matter how you do it, make sure it gets done. Okay, so quickly you're going to run through this. 5 free ways to put your wedding guests first. All right, number 1 is in the pre-wedding prep, and that is not talking about the wedding all the time. Number 2 is in the guest count and making sure that the guest count matches the size of venue that you have. Okay, number 3 is giving them clear directions about how to get to different places. And number 4 is giving them a timeline for the day. And number 5 is saying thank you. So I hope that helps in your wedding planning process. Remember, I've got lots more tips coming your way and also on my page now. So hopefully you can subscribe for more videos. Leave a comment if you have any questions. And again, my name is Julie the Garter Girl, and I can't wait to interact with you. Thanks.